The SpongeBob movie, Sponge Out of Water, the junior novelization. Chapter 2. High above Bikini Bottom, a bomber plane flew toward the Krusty Krab. Behind the restaurant, SpongeBob tossed a bag into the trash bin just as his best friend, Patrick, walked up.
"Good morning, SpongeBob,"
Patrick said cheerfully.
Good morning, Patrick,
SpongeBob answered.
Are you here for your pre-lunch Krabby Patty?
"I'm thinking two today. One for me, and one for my friend."
Oh, SpongeBob said.
Have I met this friend?
Patrick used both hands to squish his belly to look like a big mouth. He moved his hands to make the mouth talk.
"You know me, SpongeBob."
The two pals laughed.
Enjoy Patrick's tummy,
SpongeBob said. Up above the Krusty Krab, the bomber plane flew. They dropped a huge jar of tartar sauce. As the gigantic jar fell, it made a whistling sound. Meanwhile, in front of the Krusty Krab, the owner, Mr. Krabs, was happily counting the customers who were lining up to spend their money. He was too busy counting
to
notice the whistle of the falling jar. 13, 14, 15. SpongeBob went over to his boss.
Hey, Mr. Krabs,
he said.
I thought we got our tartar sauce delivery on Thursday.
Mr. Krabs stopped counting. Puzzled, he asked, "Tartar?" Splat! The giant jar hit the ground and exploded, covering everyone and everything with tartar sauce. "Sauce?" Mr. Krabs finished as tartar sauce dripped off his nose and claws. Overhead, the pilot of the bomber plane circled around to see the damage he had done. Mr. Krabs and Plankton Mr. Krabs and SpongeBob heard a familiar voice yell, "Bullseye!" and laugh evilly. The plane flew off.
Plankton!
cried SpongeBob, recognizing the evil laugh right away. I should have known Plankton had something to do with this. "So it's a food fight he wants, eh?" Mr. Krabs said, determined. He grabbed SpongeBob and said, "Listen up, boy. Plankton's tried to steal me formula thousands of times, but he's never had a plane before. So protect the secret formula at all costs." SpongeBob saluted and started to hurry inside to defend the Krabby Patty secret formula. Mr. Krabs realized what he had just said. "But not actual costs," he said. "You know what I mean. To your battle stations." Plankton piloted his bomber plane toward the Krusty Krab for another attack. "Welcome to Air Plankton," he announced to no one in particular, enjoying himself. "Please put your seat backs and tray tables up, as we are now approaching our final destination." Up on the roof of the Krusty Krab, a giant anti-aircraft gun rose into position. SpongeBob and Patrick wearing their battle helmets, worked the gun.
Okay, Patrick, SpongeBob yelled. Load the potatoes.
Patrick held up a plate full of steaming potatoes.
"Mashed or scalloped, sir?"
No, Patrick, SpongeBob said. Raw.
"Sir, yes, sir,"
Patrick answered, saluting. He dropped a plate of cooked potatoes, picked up a bag of raw potatoes, and poured them into the anti-aircraft gun.
"Locked and loaded,"
he reported. In his office, Mr. Krabs opened his safe and placed the Krabby Patty secret formula inside.
Don't you worry, little formula, he said. You'll be safe in this, safe.
Excuse me. He slammed the door closed, twirled the dial, and grabbed the microphone. Fire! He shouted. On the roof, SpongeBob pulled the trigger. Blam! 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 The anti-aircraft gun fired whole potatoes at Plankton's fighter plane. Potatoes! Plankton yelled when he saw them coming straight at him. He pulled the stick right, swerving the plane out of the way, and headed toward the Krusty Krab. He's closing in, SpongeBob called. Patrick peered through a pair of binoculars, which he was holding backward.
I think we have a few minutes before he gets here,
he said calmly. SpongeBob reached out and flipped the binoculars around.
Oh, he's right on top of us!
Patrick screamed. SpongeBob kept firing the big gun, but the propellers of Plankton's plane shredded the potatoes into French fries.
It's gonna take a lot more than potatoes to bring this baby down.
Plankton gloated. But just then, the potatoes knocked the wings off his plane. The plane plummeted to the ground and crashed. Wham! SpongeBob and Patrick celebrated on the roof with a victory dance. We did it! Woohoo! Shouted SpongeBob.
Yeah, in your face, Plankton!
Patrick said. Then SpongeBob spotted something floating gently through the sky. A parachute. Wait a minute, Patrick, he said. Look! Dangling from the parachute was a tank. He's got a tank! SpongeBob cried. Inside the tank, Plankton loaded a pickle as ammunition and manned the controls.
Well, Krabs, he said, you're certainly in a pickle now.
He laughed at his own terrible pun. The tank shot the pickle at the Krusty Krab. It hit the restaurant and exploded, blowing SpongeBob and Patrick off the roof. They screamed as they fell, but after they hit the ground, they stood up, breathing hard. They saw the tank rolling closer. SpongeBob frantically cranked the field radio and shouted into it. Your orders, sir. From his office, Mr. Krabs answered, Extra ketchup! Extra mustard!
Hold the mayo!
Yes, sir! SpongeBob called, hoisting giant squeeze bottles onto his shoulders. Patrick lifted a giant jar of mayo over his head.
Hold the mayo!
He grunted. His arms shook with effort of holding the huge jar over his head. He and SpongeBob watched as the tank rolled closer and closer. Stay tuned for Chapter 3. See you later. Bye.